Hello, it's Sheila, the Grateful Goddess, and yesterday was my birthday. And for those of you who have been on my list for a while, that means that generally in July, I give sort of a wrap-up of my lessons learned throughout the year and a free coaching session for the first, 20 that respond. I'm off on my walk yesterday morning, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my birthday, and I forgot to shoot the video to send out to all of you on, and I remembered it, a few weeks ago, and then I've been really wrapped up in another project, and it just slipped my mind, and I didn't do it. And so as I'm walking, I'm going, okay, it's never too late. When I get back home, I'll just, set up the camera and I'll do it really quick and I'll send it out really quick, and, it's never too late, right? And so lesson number 1 is my statement, it's never too late until you're dead. And that's sort of my version of it. It's never too late until you're dead. And then the second piece, the reason that I add until you're dead is because if you have an attitude, well, it's never too late, I'll do it later, and it's more of a procrastination technique, then it's a little bit more like, oh, I have to remind myself. There's a finite amount in which we have to really express ourselves. And so what I love about my birthday and the new year, it's the 2 times a year that I really, really reflect on what did my last year look like? And am I living out my life purpose, my full expression of who I am in the world? And if we keep postponing that, saying, well, it's never too late, I'll do it next year, that's where it's really important that you add that other piece, until I'm dead. And then it's like the worst case scenario is that you die without ever having lived your full expression of you. So along with that, it's never too late, I decided, well, if my priorities in life are living in my ease and flow, then yes, I could race back and do this video really quickly and put it out there, get it out yesterday, and it would take away from my self-care, from my celebration, from celebrating and relaxing and rejuvenating myself. In fact, I did something very different yesterday than I normally do, and that is I allowed myself to fully receive all the beautiful birthday messages, all of the people who expressed how much they love me and the impact I've made in my life, and I allowed it to fill me up without the need to respond. It's the first time I've ever not responded to each and every post with a thank you and something. And the reason being is, as much as I love it, it also feels like a lot of pressure on your birthday to be in mode of responding to everybody. And so if that resonates with you, I just invite you to feel into the discomfort of receiving without an immediate response back. And I hope that everybody that reached out and expressed their gratitude and love and warm regards feel my love even though I didn't respond. Is a new lesson for me. Also, within this year, obviously 2020 has been very, very different. But since I like to look at July to July right now, I'm like, wow, July to March looked so different than March to July, obviously. And so it was like looking back at like all the travel I was doing and how much I was enjoying getaways. And I love the travel and adventure. And then you come into a situation in which travel is greatly restricted. And yes, we can still travel, and yet I'm choosing not to right now. And so it's a matter of, ooh, how can I get more creative in getting that sense of feeling of adventure that I have when I am traveling than when I'm at home. The travel that I love and all of the performing. You know, we were doing a lot of acro yoga performances and fire performances, and I'm so grateful that I got to do those, because I feel so bad for all the people, like the graduates and the Olympians and all of the people that their sports and their all that they worked on was then canceled. That just is such heartache. And yet I also looked at all of the gifts in this COVID period of time, you know, so all the gifts of the fully being able to move about the country and to be in large groups and to totally enjoy people. And then I also am really grateful that I joined yet another community, another online community. And I did that, you know, back in the fall, when I was able to go in person and meet people in person. And then, yes, I want to keep connected. And so we formed an online community, and how important community is in life. It's super, super important. And I think that this time of shelter in place gives you such a perfect opportunity to make sure that priorities in life, like all of the things we used to busy our lives with, have been removed. And then it's like, oh, I can really get clear on what pieces of the busyness are a true expression of who I am, and what pieces of the busyness are procrastinating from living my true life, my unique expression, who I am. Am I doing things to please others, or am I doing the things that light me up and bring me joy? So that, I think, is the huge gift of COVID, is how we can start to slow down, a forced slowdown universally, that allowed us to really get clear on, am I doing the things and enjoying the things that I want to enjoy in life? So that was just a long ramble. Like you can tell, not a lot of preparation there, but I wanted to put together some of my thoughts. Oh, the other thing about COVID is, you know, I mentioned being more creative and trying to figure out how can I do this. It also was a great opportunity for me to learn something new that I didn't know. And I've always considered that I've never considered myself an artist, even though at one point in time I was. But I don't have a drawing skill until COVID, in which I just bought some materials and started in on it and started playing. And that's the key to all of it, is that it has to come from that place of play. Because I think the reason that I didn't do it before is I would try to draw and it was so indiscernible, like you could not have, there was no, you had no idea what it was. It's a taught skill. So, you know, actually getting into a playful state of being and just knowing that it didn't have to look good. That, I think, was absolutely the key. And it was like, yep, that doesn't look good, that doesn't look good, that, you know, until I got to something that I actually liked. I think a lot of people stumble on, like, for me, I don't like to do things that I'm not good at. And yet you can't get good at something until you go through that process of allowing yourself to do things that you're not that good at. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate you. And please, if you're interested in a coaching session, absolutely free. Respond to this email, and if you're one of the first to respond, I'll let you note a link to sign up. Thank you so much. Love you all.